In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can get some amazing long exposure photos using the DJI Mini 2 and a set of these. So stick around. But first, check out some of these photos I was able to capture.
Sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross, made some do crack a smile.
What's going on, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you like drone reviews and drone related content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know the next time I post my videos. So long exposure photography is a great tool when you want to imply motion in an image. If you're not familiar with this form of photography, it involves a slow shutter speed to sharply capture the stationary elements of an image while blurring the moving elements. So things like moving cars, clouds, or rushing water are great elements to use while trying to capture long exposure photos. So when shooting long exposure photos in bright daylight, you're going to need ND filters to slow down that shutter speed. So this is when these come in. This is a set of long exposure filters from Freewell. This set contains a ND 1000 and 2000, and these are the darkest filters you can buy for your Mavic Mini or Mini 2. They're specifically used for photography and shouldn't be used for video. And by the way, if you haven't seen my first video on ND filters for the Mini 2, I'll leave a link in the description and also at the end of this video so you can go ahead and check it out. So in most daylight situations, I found that the ND 1000 was good enough. And I haven't yet had the need to use the ND 2000. These filters mount on your camera just like any other ND filter. And once you put it on, you'll see that your image on your display is kind of dark. So I do suggest setting it to auto until you get to where you're going and ready to shoot. And then at that point, you can put it in manual mode and dial in your settings. As far as my settings, I always start off by setting my photo type to JPEG+RAW, which gives me more flexibility if I ever choose to edit my photos in post. Also, I turn on all the grid lines and the overexposure warning, and sometimes I may use the histogram. Now for the shutter speed, I aim for 1 to 2 second exposure. This seems to be the best range to get that nice, smooth, silky blur without compromising the sharpness of the stationary elements within the image. You want to set your ISO to the lowest setting, which is 100. However, if it is necessary or if you have to, you can bump it up to 200, but I don't recommend going above 200 ISO because then at that point you'll start introducing more graininess or noise to your image. And also you're going to want to keep an eye on your exposure meter to make sure you're not overexposed or too underexposed. So when all your settings are good, try taking a few test shots, then go into your library and see if everything looks decent, and if it does, just go ahead and start taking more photos. And I suggest taking a lot of photos. Although the Mini 2 does very well in the wind, it doesn't stay completely still all the time. So the longer you have the shutter open, the more you risk capturing a blurry or unusable image. So take a lot of photos. It's better to have more than not enough. Now there are times when you don't need to use a ND 1000 or a ND 2000. For example, on an overcast day, you can get away with using an ND64 or ND32 and get the same results. So it doesn't hurt to experiment with different filters and different times of the day, using different settings to find out which setting is the best or which one gets the best results. This photo right here was taken on an overcast day using a ND32 PL. This image is straight from the camera, and this is after editing the RAW file. Here's another one I took at sunset using an ND64 PL. This one is not as sharp as I would have liked it, but it looks decent enough for social media. Hopefully this video was useful to anyone looking to do long exposure photos with the Mini 2. It's not that difficult, but it may take some patience. So if you did find this video helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know the next time I post my content. But until next time, guys, you fly safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.